We're back to Sooner Recap. Jason Watkins, Hall of Fame College Football. Kchris Griffin from the Horns Down podcast. And Mr. Chris Mason, Sooners 360. What's up, folks?
What's up, man? What's up?
Hello.
Welcome into the show, gentlemen. Welcome into the show, everybody else. Corrections 101. Oh, looky there. Ben G's even here. Good man. Show up and, take the L. Spaceman Jams, Ginja, Eho the Simp, My Gun Sweetness, Bishop Frank, the Professor, Sooner Terry Bear, and Goated. Welcome in, everybody. Welcome in, welcome in, welcome in. What was the final? 44-0?
44-0. Yeah.
44-0, Oklahoma.
Yep.
Some stuff to clean up. Overall, pretty easy win. Nothing to it but to do it.
No, at times you look good. There was times where just, things could be a bit more refined, and I know we'll get into that. But no, for the most part, you did exactly what you need to do. Sounds like Keontae Lewis should be fine, kind of, going forward. Biggest thing is that you got out of there without any other injuries. Defense still looks good. I'm glad that you, again, Chris Mason and I, we were talking in kind of the pre-screening, right? Or the background, right? Anyways, we were talking behind the scenes, and Chris Mason was like, it's kind of felt like a weird game today, right? And I think, yeah, it did, but it was kind of deliberate, right? When I hate to say this because again, y'all know me, I try to respect all opponents, right? I try to give y'all some tidbits about Kent State, and it really didn't matter. But what I say is right here: when you're playing somebody that you know that you're better on, work on your weaknesses. Put yourself out there in situations that hey, we struggle with this, right? Because I think all bye week, all practice, and everything that they talked about is a lot of self-scouting, right? So at the end of the day, I think this game here, offensively and defensively, you put some guys in some situations just trying to see how they would react. Biggest thing for me, one of the top takeaways, guys, Danny Okoye got a sack today. I almost jumped up and ran outside my house. Danny Okoye, man, is gonna be a guy. But yeah.
Yeah, I was talking to my brother who just got back in the country. He was on vacation and he watched the game. It's a quick conversation, and I said, "Yeah, the defense looked pretty good considering he didn't have Dominic Williams and Jaydn Jackson all game." He's like, "They didn't play? Oh, I barely noticed." So when two guys like that can basically not play, including Jaydn Jackson, who might be our best player, although David Stone seems to be rapidly making an argument for something different there. When you can have those two guys not play and not really, notice, I think that says all we need to say about the defensive effort today. It was sharp. I mean, glad they got the interception and fumble, lack of fumbles and turnovers out of their system. Hopefully we'll have some more next week. Certainly seems like Arch is willing to give the ball to the opponent after today. So I think, it was a weird game. The injury, the whole almost 20-minute break for Keontae Lewis, and obviously I respect everything OU did to make sure he was fine. I'm not really querying that. But just the TV timeouts we're getting from the SEC network just seem laborious. It just seemed like a while to kind of get this game going a little bit. So that's a little bit of why I thought it was kind of a strange game from that perspective.
No doubt. Creole, I hereby elect you president of Sooner Nation. We need to find a way to get you to Dallas next week. Make sure that happens. All right. Welcome into the show, everybody. Welcome in, Creole, Benji, Jimmy Satterfield. Yeah, listen, I think obviously the defense looked as good as you would have expected them to, particularly against a team that was clearly overmatched in every way. But look, it's good to see them go ahead and get those 2 turnovers. Looked like they almost got a couple more, but just out of the reach of their hands a little bit. But look, I think that that was what I was waiting to see, though, is them to get off that schneid, and you think it's probably going to come in bunches. Now, particularly when, the offensive line at Texas is struggling tremendously to keep pressure off of Arch, as we will see here from our guy from Fanatic Perspective, Steven.
I'm not shocked by the offensive line playing bad. They have been bad. They could not move people on the goal line versus UTEP. They couldn't move people on the goal line. Why would I be surprised that they couldn't move Florida? That is not a surprise. I'm not surprised.
Shout out to Fanatic Perspective, old Steven. Love it, love it, love it. Hey, look, it looks even better for it. This is what I mean. The only thing I even care about is that you saw how bad they looked against a team that hasn't been very good. And that includes the defense, by the way, giving up 28 points. Could have been a lot more even. But guess what? Florida sucks. And they still gave up 28 points and a bunch of damn yards in a L on the road today. Their first real road game, as Chris Mason told us the other day, in the SEC. And what do? They gag it away.
So saying they suck is, I think you're wrong there. I'm gonna disagree with you there simply because.
Come on, Chris. Wait. Don't disagree with me on that. Whenever they've been trash all year.
Florida has talent, and you also got to remember, Jason, that schedule that they had to start. I mean, the Florida State Championship, they basically playing for it right now. I mean, let's be real. Florida State and Miami are playing right now. They still have Florida State on the schedule, by the way, at the end of the year. But Florida, obviously, they were. I mean, it's a Billy Napier team. It's all the rest of that stuff. It is what it is. All I'll say is this right here is that some of the national media finally caught on, and they challenged it as well. They said, "Hey, how good is this Texas defense?" Because they played a very conservative Ohio State team the first game, then they played three nobodies, and they still gave up points in those games. So it's one of those things where today Florida went out there and they did their thing, but I still go with what Duke Silver is saying in the comments as far as like, hey, they have nothing to lose. We still got to play. But I would say, Jason, there's still stuff to unpack from this game here against Kent State today.
There is stuff to unpack. I had to take a shot early. You took your dig early the other night. I took my dig early now. We can continue on with the Oklahoma game and obviously everybody knows that you can't walk in there and act like it doesn't matter, that you're going to just easily roll over them because it's Texas. This game has weird things that happen in them. Yeah. And it just does. So but the one thing I would say about that is they haven't played with their food against teams that they're going to beat. Temple, now Kent State. They've handled their business. Don't expect them to go to the Red River and all of a sudden forget that you need to handle your business.
Oh no! I think last year's game is probably ringing in their mind. I know BV is not going to let them forget it, but no, I think for me, what I would like to talk about, and let's go ahead and discuss it because I know it's kind of a hot topic. It is the topic. Hawkins, right? Michael Hawkins. I think he had. If I graded him, I would give him kind of I give him a C- today. That's just me. Maybe I'm being a little bit really nitpicky, but the thing is that the mechanics are still a slight issue. Not going to say they're a huge issue because it's there. He's seeing plays. He's sitting in the pockets. You saw some things as far as like, hell, 3rd and 15, 3rd and 17, different things like that. You saw some of the things that he was doing. Some of the sidearm stuff, I was like, I think you can kind of cut that out. He put some balls in a couple of places where I'm like, hey, let's not get our guys injured now, right? The overthrow. I think you can excuse the overthrow to Carrion simply because, hey, it's still his first. It's within the first couple of series, still trying to get his starter legs back underneath him, right? But again, there are some mechanic things, and I think they're still working with him, and he's a work in progress. I don't think that he would be he would shy away from that criticism. I think that he would actually embrace it. So I think the kid is still electric. We saw some things out there that you really liked, and also I think another thing to keep in mind is that, man, we shuffled a lot of guys in on the offensive line. It was a lot of different guys. I thought Blaylock looked good today. I was happy that Giovanni was able to get in the game, be active, be a part of it. Looked like he was about to fight somebody out there. But yeah, when it comes to Hawkins, man, I would say probably C- on the day. And anybody respectfully disagrees, that's perfectly fine. But I would say that, there's still some mechanical things because we left a lot of points out there because yeah, we scored 44, we shut them out, and that's to be expected. But at the same time, I think that we probably could have been 56, maybe 60 something points out there if we would have connected on a couple.
I think that's probably fair. I some of the Arbuckle's play calling kind of confused me. Not feeding Ott the ball when he was kind of getting going. Some of the 3 passes in a row called. I think Mike had one really bad series where he was inaccurate on all 3 passes. I don't know what Derek Simmons was trying to do, getting him killed today at right tackle. I thought that was I thought overall the offensive line made some progress in the run blocking and some of the run plays we called. The running backs, when they got the ball, for the most part, had pretty good days. Their stats are a little lower because of some garbage time stuff. Okay, Chris, it's hard to tell from what we were getting from the SEC network guys who were basically useless. Where's the deep pass game? Is it just not there? Are we still just seeing too high safety coverage? Is it because the running game will come as the offensive line gets better. You can tell Ott obviously had a good week of practice. He looked good out there. I think the Ott Blaylock combo with the offensive line continuity increasing and getting better and better will be fine. But I'm Deion Burks is practically on a milk carton, and where's that deep passing game?
No, I get
Or
that.
3 high safety than 2 high safety most of the time because of the fact that they haven't been running the ball well.
Well, if that's the case, then that's fine. But it's hard to tell that from TV and what we're getting from the SEC network guys.
Yeah, no, I'm just challenge it's hard to tell. I think some guys are getting down there, and I mean, Chris Mason. To be fair, you still are you are stretching the field. You're finding gaps in those zones.
It's true.
And you are stretching the field on a lot of plays. I think the thing to remember about Arbuckle's offense is the fact that he caters to the players that he has, to the personnel that he has out there. Yes, I believe we have guys, Satania, who can stretch the field. I think all the guys, Burks for sure can stretch the field. I know some of the videos I sent you guys from the spring game, a big part of the offense, a lot of orbit routes, a lot of crossers, different things like that. I think it's a thing of, look, just take what the defense is giving you. And that's helped us a lot because there's a lot of things that we do offensively where you see, like today, talk about the Texas game again. You watch Texas and Florida. Florida is running kind of a power spread. They're running a lot jet sweeps, a bunch of screens, different things like that or whatnot. And so a lot of what you saw today in a game like that, that's stuff that we do. That's characteristic and that's fundamentally sound football, or that's fundamental offense from Arbuckle. So to me, I think those big plays are still out there. And yeah, I agree. They need to happen more because that was something that you saw and that's what you got. You were really excited about with Arbuckle coming, especially those sideline throws. But at the same time, I think it's a thing of the defense is kind of they're giving up something. And if they're going to play back and they're going to do all the rest of this stuff, then keep hitting them on those quick hitch routes and all the rest of that stuff. Because at the end of the day, I think, if I had one critique of Sark right now, which we could point out a lot, but if I had one critique of Sark, I would say, Sark, you're calling too many long developing routes. I know that's part of your offense, but you're forcing him to take coverage sacks. You're forcing him into situations he doesn't want to be in. It's 10 yards. You can chip away at it. You don't have to have 16 to 20 yards each play. I know that's what you want, but that's just not what you are right now. So I'm fine with what Arbuckle is calling. And plus, again, it's a weird game playing against Kent State at this point. I heard it. I think I heard it on the franchise radio show the other day, one of their shows where they were like, they were like, I kind of get the feel that the coaching staff is kind of tired of these games. They're ready to get into the meat of the schedule, right? Because it's hard to get yourself up for this game here. So I think there was something that you did, some things that you did that you were deliberate about, and I think also probably in this game here, I mean, excuse me, Hawkins is not shy to throw the ball down the field, but I just think that he was taking what the defense was giving him today.
And I'm not going to give him a C- for a couple of bad throws. That's the thing. He didn't have any turnovers. One thing I'll say is he didn't turn the ball over. He didn't even put the ball in harm's way.
There's one pass that could have been picked, but that's about it.
Jason, the mechanics though, some of the things.
The sidearm stuff was ugly on one series.
There was that
stuff like, come on,
that series. You're gonna let me finish talking? I let you talk all this time. You're gonna let me respectfully disagree. You're gonna let me respectfully disagree. Come on now.
Go ahead.
Look, he definitely, that one series, he needed to handle it. He needed to be not so. He was fidgety in the pocket on that one. He had 3 bad misses on that early on, but he was 11 of 14 in the first half with 2 touchdowns. One of which he had 2 dudes hanging off of him, and he threw the ball right to where it needed to be. 2 guys hanging off of him. So we can talk about. Look, I'm not saying that he was perfect, but guess what? He didn't turn over the football. We didn't ask him to come in here and be perfect today either. We talked about this on Thursday night. You have to expect this guy to come in and just hold onto the ball, do what you're supposed to do. He ran the ball well. He threw the ball well at times. He didn't make every throw perfect, but neither is John Mateer for the first early part of the season either. I mean, I think that you can try to grade him. You can grade him low if you want to, but I think it's a little much whenever he didn't put the ball in harm's way. He led the offense to what he was supposed to do. He had 1 really bad series, and that was it. I think it's a lot to ask for him for his first start. That's all.
Well, I just say this right here. The way some of the mechanical things we're talking about, the sidearm throws, missing those throws, and we're behind the chains, is getting the 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8, and stuff like that for him being a young guy, and we're not trying to put that pressure on him. That doesn't translate well when you get deep into SEC play, and you know that, Jason. Some of those things we can't have.
What did you see that wasn't good that you can't have? Say that again.
Again, well, look, that touchdown pass you threw to Satania, that's fine against Kent State. Against another quality team, hell, Vanderbilt, Bama, other teams like that, he's on the ground. He's not throwing that anywhere. That's probably a pick. Some of these teams we're going to play better defenses. He's not going to be able to make those type of plays, those type of mistakes. Some of the throws to Carion, that one where he slipped and he missed, where I don't even know how he didn't have his feet on him at all. Like some of those things when
that was that one. That was that series I was talking about. That he had happy feet that entire series, and he missed 3 throws in a row those were wide. I mean, that one was really bad. That one to carry on was just terrible. And I don't know what he was doing on that one. But the one to Giovanni before that wasn't great either. But he threw it out of bounds. It wasn't in danger of getting picked. The sidearm balls that he threw over the middle, though, right before that, were pretty damn good.
They were good, and that's perfectly fine. But it's just like some of those things I'm expecting him with the coaching that he's getting to kind of eliminate those mistakes. And obviously, repetition makes perfect. He needs to be. I mean, he needs more repetition. He needs all the rest of that stuff. I'm just saying that there were some drives today. There were some things that were kind of less than desirable, just with some of the mechanical issues. He's still a work in progress, and when he settled in, It was just one of those things where you go back and you look at the film. You're saying, hey, you're throwing to a 6'5", 6'6" kid over in the middle. Why are you throwing it where he's got to stretch out? Hit him on the numbers and go from there. When you throw the ball,
he needs to work on taking a little off of it, doing some stuff like that. There's some stuff that he's got to do. But again, first start, to come in, not turn the ball over, and do what he's. I mean, look, he missed some plays. Again, 11 of 14 in the first half, and they were moving the ball like they were supposed to. They also ran the ball pretty well too. It wasn't all bad. The people in here saying he's not
No.
it, stuff like that. Don't be ridiculous.
No, you're
Don't
right.
be ridiculous.
You're right. No, and I agree with you on that. I'm just saying that, it's just some mechanical things for him to be the guy next year. Those things are the more that we see Hawkins this year, if that's a whole thing, because I know some people believe John Mateer is going to be back next week and all the rest of that stuff. But the more we see Hawkins, those things, he has to, find ways to be consistent. I'm not necessarily looking, and today I was not looking for him to be great, to be perfect, but I was just looking for him to be consistent each drive. And there was a couple of drives where I was like, okay, maybe this is just some jitters. Maybe it's this. But again, once he settled in, he started hitting people in stride. He started doing some wild things out there. Legs were really good, but it was just there were some coverage sacks out there, and there were some times where I think that he could have let the ball go a little bit faster. Again, I feel like this offense was geared to go out there and get you 60 plus points. The way I was always brought up playing sports and everything is that, it's not necessarily, you go and score 30 points, but you can have 40. You miss 8 free throws, and then you miss 4 free throws, and then you miss 4 layups, right? So it's just one of those things where sometimes you just kind of have to look at that, because when you're playing an inferior opponent, what are you supposed to do? It's a lot of self-scouting out there.
Yeah, I felt, again, as I said before, I felt like Arbuckle's play calling was a little erratic. The offense was a little erratic today. Not bad, not terrible, just a little erratic. And again, Mike is not QB1, hasn't been QB1 over the last 9 months. It is unrealistic to think that your backup, other than the Trinidad guy from Ole Miss, no one in college football puts their backup in and has a seamless operation, right?
Yeah, well, Chambliss is also
Fifth-year senior or something.
Senior, and won a couple of national championships in Division II.
So it's not exactly an apples to apples comparison. So I just felt like Buckle didn't do Mike some favors with his play calling, and Simmons obviously had a rough day today and didn't help Mike either. I think the first half was, like you said, was very positive. I think I'll be honest, the biggest thing for me coming out of this game is it looks like maybe the money spent on Jaydn Ott is not going to be a complete waste of time. Okay? We'll see. He ran the ball well today. He looks good as a receiver. He looks good as a receiver.
I like his patience in the hole.
He gets yards. He's smooth getting yards. I think if our O-line we can have the same 5 guys out there consistently week over week, a Blaylock-Ott running back combo is going to only get better week over week, getting us some yards. I think Ott's a good receiver too. Those 2 plays, the 2 receiving plays he had were excellent. If Mike had hit him a little higher, we didn't have to put his knee on the ground. Ott probably could have made a bigger play out of that. And obviously, and I think, Buckle didn't do any favors with some of the, it was obviously we're blitzing on 3rd and long, and it just seemed like Arbuckle wasn't calling like a quick screen or something like that. It just seemed like Mike was continuing to look downfield while the pocket was collapsing. He was looking for, as you said, maybe a longer route to develop, and we should have thrown some shorter stuff and let our guys run in space.
Well, and the other thing too, and it's being said in here now, and nobody's been talking about it when you want to critique him, but part of the reason he got sped up is because Simmons was getting killed on his side.
I have no idea what was going on with him. It was terrible.
It was not good.
It was bad.
And
two of the sacks are just flat out Olays on Simmons, and Mike doesn't have no quarterback has
nowhere to go. And
So.
that could get you happy feet a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think that's a combination of stuff. But like I said, I think I like to carry on, look good out there. If we're going to continue saying some positives, I think, he looks like he's got some game for us. Just a brief cameo from Zion Kearney. He should have caught that pass. It should have been a better pass from Mike. He still should have caught it. They would have moved the chains again and would have made one of those series not be quite so herky-jerky. But overall, when the defense said, "Okay, we're shutting this MFer down," the offense took advantage of the short fields and put the points in and put the game away. So we played complementary football again, which we haven't been doing for the last couple of years. Especially last year was a mess. But in 2023, we didn't always play complementary football. We're doing that right now, and I think there's something to be said for that. So overall, I think I would have liked to see a little more precision from Mike, but I understand the circumstances of where we are. I think we all would prefer Mateer's back for Texas. We'll deal with it as we can because everybody, you want your QB1,
of course,
back for the game.
Of
It's
course,
not
what I'm saying. Yeah,
no. I didn't think you were. So I think everyone's hey, he looked well, he struggled. Well, he's not QB1 for a reason. So, and he hasn't been getting QB1 reps and we weren't able to get him into the game other than a brief Temple appearance. And and then they had to sit him in the fourth quarter because you couldn't afford for him to get hurt. So we had to play Whit Neubauer, which was operationally made sense. But a different set of circumstances, if Mateer just had like the flu today, you would have liked to see Mike play more, right? If he just what I'm saying, if it was something like that where it wasn't an injury, right? Like, okay, sure. I'd like to see Mike play more and get a chance to do some different things. But, again, if not for just a couple of one great pass reception on the sideline, I mean, Kent State has under 100 yards today. It's just silly. I thought Kendall Dolby killed that guy on that one tackle. So we saw Kendall Dolby out there. We saw Jaydn Hardy. We saw Eli Bowen. We're missing two of our elite D tackles, and our run defense, and nothing seems different. Marcus Strong and Nigel Smith are out there in the fourth quarter, making pressure, getting pressure on folks. We played a lot of.
Strong looked good the entire game, man.
Marcus Strong, we've got, we played a lot of folks, and for the most part, it looks like we came out of this game relatively injury-free, which is what we needed to accomplish. Mike got playing time. Will he be better if he has to start next week against Texas? Yeah, week over week he'll improve. Obviously, the opponent will improve, so it's a matter of degrees. But I think there's enough.
I'm going to address this real quick here. 355 yards of total offense is embarrassing. Do you realize how many short fields they had today because of Isaiah Satania running back punts to the damn 30-yard line? And then you had, the turnover, the two turnovers, one of them turned into points. But even if they just fell on it right there, they're going to score right there either way. You wouldn't have got a bunch of yards on it. There wasn't a lot of yards to be had.
Yardage is such a
lame ass way to go about it, man.
It's such a cliche. Measuring yardage is kind of a cliche. It really is. It doesn't factor in any of the things you're talking about, or would you rather we had 300 yards passing and only had 24 points? I mean, what? It's like
just looking for reasons to bitch.
It's like stat chasing sometimes. It's like, okay, we did win the football game, right? And I was at this, and guys, Penn State lost to UCLA today.
Again,
and they gave up 42 points doing it.
Out of these guys, they did what they were supposed to do.
And that UCLA team is I tried to use the word putrid to describe it. My brother says that putrid just slapped me with a defamation lawsuit because they don't want to be associated. They don't want the word putrid associated with UCLA football. It's just there was never any doubt. There was never any moment where you thought this game was in doubt. No. And we now have we're not the high-flying 60 points to have to win close games against mediocre opponents. OU.
Praise God.
We're a steel effing curtain where the one comment, the only decent comment all day from the SEC Network guys was the play-by-play guy while talking to Fozzie Whitaker. Was it Fozzie Whitaker?
Yeah.
Who's just effing useless. Might as well just have a sheep doing color commentary instead. It would be more interesting and provide more opinions. They said that the OU defense. He said we watched film on that all week prepping for the game, and and everyone told me how good it was. They go, but wow, watching it in person, it's a whole other level of how this defense is playing. That he's like, I can't believe how even Fozzie was like gushing over the OU defense. So, I need to tell you a quick, amusing story. I was in Chicago visiting my mom, and my mom asked me, because the Bears are a little up and down, she asked me, she goes, why is it so, she's genuinely asking me this question like I should have the answer for it. She says, why is it so hard for a team to have a good offense and a good defense? It seems like they either have one or the other, but never both. And I'm like, well, OU has a good offense. We've traded in our good offense for a great offense for a great defense, and now we're trying to rebuild the offense back up. So she genuinely thought I had an answer to the question. I was like, Mom, if I knew that, I'd be like a football consultant making millions everywhere. But yeah, it's just we are great on one side of the football, and strategically, I think it does factor into how Arbuckle and BV are game managing, and it should. You don't have to do all these crazy things to try and put up 45 points because you might give up at least 38.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. And that's why I'm saying, what do we care about the yardage for? The points are what matters. You didn't turn over the football. You had one punt the entire game. One.
I think they punted twice, didn't they?
Oh, did they punt again at the end?
They did punt again at the end. You didn't see it. Yeah, I mean
Okay.
Again, if you are somehow convinced that a 75-yard drive is better than a 40-yard drive, you don't understand football.
Nope.
I have no other way to say it that
Nope.
you don't understand really any process. If you can execute something shorter, quicker, rather than a long process, it baffles my mind that somehow an 80-yard drive is better than a 40-yard drive. It's not at all, ever going to be that way.
No, this was a summer league game where you just run clock the whole time. They were running the ball. We were trying to run the ball and trying to establish things. And there's a lot of good that came out of this game. I mean, you got to see some things. I feel like Blaylock missed a long run. There was a hole that opened up on that left side, and he missed that. Missed the hole. He kept it inside, where if he would have bounced out, he was gone for at least probably 40. So, no, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, both teams knew what it was. When we got up 20-0, I mean, and 23-0, I think they basically had kind of, tailed it in. And then when we got that strip sack forced fumble, I mean, you're up 30-0. So, I mean, at that point, everybody's just kind of running clock, right?
I mean, the easiest strip fumble G-Baby easiest touchdown he probably will ever have in his career, right? I mean, it's like,
yeah, except that sometimes those big cats don't go down to get the ball like that.
And then somehow David Stone got a personal foul on that. I mean, the refs were a little weird today about like, okay.
Weird. That was a whole weird deal.
That was a weird deal. So, I think, you dominated again on the side of the ball that you're great on, and you flashed some things. There was some positive things in the running game. You did some different stuff, trying to get the ball on the outside. Ott again looked good. He looked better than he had looked all season long. He's a good receiver. I think that's something OU needs to perhaps think about. Maybe you have some two-back stuff with Barnes and Ott, where Barnes is basically like is in a fullback role, something along those lines.
Yeah.
There's some, I thought it was nice to see Caden Helms out there without a cast on his hand. That appears to be something that maybe can work a little bit. Maybe some two tight end receiving stuff. And you got guys out of the game. I mean, you got Kanik out of the game, by halftime, basically, and played the other tight ends.
Is he hurt? Did it look like he strained something or did something weird?
No, I think Carson Kent.
I was listening to the Sooner broadcast because
Carson Kent got hurt.
Was it?
He got.
No, I know. No. I saw that part.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah, I didn't see anything. I didn't see anything on Canic either on the Twitter feeds or anything else. So
I thought I heard it during the radio feed. So
maybe I was
I didn't
listening to
see it happen. That's why I was asking.
Yeah, I didn't. There's nothing There's nothing in the post game stuff that I can see that says he got banged up. So, but maybe he did get a little banged up, and he said, no, I'm fine. I can go back in there. Like, nope, done. We need all the ammo for Texas.
Sure.
This game's over. We can play Carson Kent. We can play Caden Helms. We can play Huggins. Don't just sit.
And gets a touchdown. Way to go.
Yeah. And then don't just sit and take the rest of the day off. But yeah, I mean, we didn't anything great out of this game. The negative people would just be, well, it's just Kent State. Okay, all right. So it just more amplifies to me
the whole way around. Though, I mean, we talked about this the other night. This is a warm-up game. This wasn't you weren't going to learn anything in particular about anybody in this thing. Unless it was bad.
Right. So
you're trying to ramp up for a game that is going to be hard hitting, bigger. You're playing a real SEC opponent. You're playing your biggest rival next week. This week was not that. They literally are the worst team in college football, or one of them anyway.
Yeah, I mean, and you treated them like that. I mean, basically, like I said, I mean, they came very close to having like 75 yards offense in this game. I mean, very, very close. I'm stunned they went for it on their one drive. They went for it on fourth down. I would have thought they would have just kicked the field goal to not get or tapped the field goal to not get shut out. Props to our kicker. It's nice going into that game. If it's going to be a rock fight with UT, which it'll probably end up being if we don't have Mateer, from some level. It's nice knowing that we've got that guy and that leg on our side of the ball. That the field goal kicker, we all said it coming out of spring, field goal kicking was like the number one concern. And the guy we got in the spring portal seems to have erased that. I mean, that 55-yarder he hit today is probably good from 60.
Yeah, the thud on that kick was crazy.
So, I mean, that's the, you want to strip away all this other stuff. In a fourth quarter game in the Cotton Bowl, if we need to kick a 55-yarder to win, I like our odds.
Dude, that 55-yarder would have been good from 70.
So, and I like, and if we have to play some field position, you like what the punter did. He dropped one inside the 1 yard line.
It was awesome.
So he can boom it and he can do some place kicking. So we have and maybe Satania breaks one against Texas and gets us a short field that allows us to put a touchdown on the board. So if you're Texas, you've got to be a little bit worried about how many points you realistically think you can put on OU. Because, I mean, Billy Napier, again, stuck in the puzzle room in the fourth quarter, tried to give that game away, right? For Florida. If you're Texas and you get down 14-0, let's just say OU's able to put a couple of quick drives together, maybe they get a turnover or something, just something allows them to put some points on the board, regardless of who the quarterback is. You got to start to be wondering if you've lost the game, right? It's like, with our offense, can we, without pushing things to the limit and making more mistakes, can we really get back in this game? How many, I'm a little. If you had told me Texas had scored 22 points, 21 points today, I thought they probably would have won. I probably said, oh, maybe they did win that game. 21-17.
I'm not as worried about Colin Simmons doing it, but I'm worried about Simmons from.
Yeah, I'm just worried about Simmons in general. Yeah. I mean,
it's time to. If Isaiah Dent is ready to go, they need to play his ass.
Well, he's not. I mean, he hasn't been practicing. He hasn't been playing at all, so he doesn't have a single game rep. So
I don't know why. And apparently, he's been practicing.
Well, yeah, but I mean,
so I don't understand why they're not trying him.
Well, Howland at right tackle is what was the first move. So he's actually
one rep he got, or no, it was Ozida that got hurt, huh?
No, I think it was
no. It was who got hurt.
Somebody else got hurt. Yeah, they got leg whipped in the fourth quarter, right? Yeah. It was Gunnar Allen, wasn't it? Or do I have that wrong? I mean,
No.
again, we're not getting anything from the radio guys. I'm not listening. I was listening to the SEC network guys. So, but yeah, I think yeah. I mean, will Texas's defense be the best defense we played this year? Maybe.
I told you guys I don't think that defense is that great.
Maybe,
right.
But even if it is just as good as Michigan or as good as Auburn, if we have Mateer, we put up 24 points on both those guys, and I don't see Arch putting up 24 on us.
There ain't no fucking
unless we're very generous to him.
Logan Howland got hurt.
Logan Howland got banged up. Okay. So unless we're very generous to them, I just don't see them scoring that many points. If we can just keep things in balance, I think there's a chance that, we have a defense, play to our strength, and go there. And Miami's pulling away from FSU. Sadly. It's not looking good early. But yeah, I think it's, again, I think we have the best unit going into that game. And I think there were some positive things in the running game today. There could have been more positive things, I think, if Arbuckle had called a slightly different game. But maybe he's saving some of that stuff for Texas. I think Mike, obviously, there are some big run plays out there for Mike with an offensive scheme called correctly, which I don't think you can't ignore that he has some big play potential there as well with his feet. And again, points count. I don't care how we score them. Some people seem to be obsessed about how we accomplish certain things. I'm not. Yeah, pass the ball, run the ball, just score. Put enough points up so our defense can play real football, and we can play complementary football, and we'll win football games. So, but it was a weird day. I mean, UCLA just beating the crap out of Penn State. OSU on their futility drive to go 0-4 in Big 12 play again this year got manhandled by an average Arizona team. I don't know what Iowa State was doing today. Defensively, they looked craptastic. It's another weird day of football. I mean, Vandy, 2 red zone turnovers. Basically, they lost that game right there. Pavia, for all of his bravado, committed 2 terrible turnovers that basically cost them that football game. They should have been up 21-7 before going into half, but they weren't. So due to the turnovers. So I think OU consistently is playing good football. Game management looks good. We've had 5 good games. I think the Arbuckle thing's working pretty well, and if we can get John Mateer back for the bulk of this back end of this schedule, I like OU to win some football games. I think we can go to Alabama and play with Alabama for 4 quarters, even in Tuscaloosa. I think we can play with Ole Miss and Norman, definitely. South Carolina looks winnable. Tennessee at Tennessee. Not quite sure about that game, but overall, I come out of today feeling all right. We did what we needed to do. We didn't, and Mike. There's a lot of film for Mike to work with Arbuckle if he has to start next week.
Shout out to Houston wearing the old Oilers uniforms today. They look really good. That's awesome.
Still getting their ass kicked, but yes.
They are. Well, they just scored to make it.
Oh, did they? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're going to be down still 2 scores, but yeah, I like that look.
Yeah.
Let's see.
It's hate week, so
It's hate week. Hate.
It's not much to say about this game other than again our defense just. I mean, this is sort of like the 0-1 defense where they were holding teams under 100 yards, kind of stuff.
And that's what I was saying. They were playing nobodies, and I know when you look at what Texas was doing, they talk about, well, we held Ohio State down. No, Ohio State held Ohio State down. They knew that there was nothing that Texas was going to do to their defense because Arch was in his first game. He was scared as shitless. He was missing everybody. So they weren't going to put the ball in harm's way when they had a brand new quarterback, new line, new play caller. There's no way Ryan Day was going to allow that. Just run the ball, do the best we can do to stay out in front, run the clock out. Let's get the fuck out of here. That's what that was. The next 3 weeks should have shown everybody that too.
Yeah, I mean we'll see what we'll get.
They're not great on defense. They're definitely terrible on offense. They can't run the ball.
Well, they gave up 28 points and over 450 yards of offense.
Yeah,
that's not a great defense.
Mm-hmm.
That just statistic. If you told me Florida had 29 points today, if you told me they would have scored that much, I would have guaranteed a Florida win. I'm like, oh hell yeah, they're definitely winning.
Oh yeah.
So from that perspective, but yeah, it's again. I thought it was a herky jerky kind of erratic game, and some of that sort of played out in terms of the third quarter a little bit, and then the defense decided they were going to go into super turbo crush mode, and just took the game over and just said, "Hey, we're going to score, and we're also going to give you a couple of short fields. Put the game away." And
I mean, there wasn't. You can go back and look at the time of possession. I mean, they didn't have a ton of any of it. I mean, literally, Hawkins only threw it 14 or 24 times. You had 3 from Witt. They had 185 rushing yards, and they did that on 41 carries. You know what I mean? It's like, that's not a ton of plays. We're talking about a total of 67 plays.
OU had 68 plays.
Oh yeah, 68 plays.
And Kent State had 52.
Right.
I mean that's nothing.
Right.
I mean that's. I
when
mean,
you've got a short field, yes. When you're short fielding it and stuff like that, and then you have a defensive touchdown, there's not going to be a ton of yardage. I just think it's wild to think about the yardage in a situation like this. I think it's wild.
It's just it's you can't. You're looking at trees and you don't notice there's a forest.
Yeah.
So from that standpoint, but Chris, is anything any other last comments? Anybody else? Obviously, I was happy to see Dolby out there blowing people up, and it was happy to see Danny Okoye get his first sack, and just see the defensive depth that we displayed. It's just was great. But any last comments from you?
That's the word, depth, right there, man. You just got to see your depth there. I thought that guys were in good positions and stuff like that. It felt good seeing Kendall Daniels make a couple of plays out there and be on time, right? Be on time, good angles, good everything, right? Defensively, just felt good. D line was consistent. Linebackers were good. Again, I think that this team has a whole lot more to show. I think that they have a couple more gears to get to. But at the end of the day, it's always good when you can see Eli Bowen out there in the mix, and you can see Giovanni Gibson out there as well. So I think that we got better. And when John Mateer gets back, for sure, Hawkins, hey, I'm confident in Hawkins as well. But if we can get our QB1 back, I think that the sky is the limit. Definitely happy with seeing what we've seen in the run game today. I mean, it's there. It's what DeMarco likes. Is how he ran. Is what they want to do. It's there. We just have to make sure that it's adequate. I don't think that this offense, with what we have right now, barring injury or further injury, we don't have to have 100-yard rusher per game. That would be nice. That would be great. And that should be the expectation here at Oklahoma. But if you can have one or two guys, especially two guys that can consistently pick up 3 to 4 yards per carry and keep us in short yardage plays, we say this every week. That's all that you need. You need somebody who can go out there and make sure they pick that up and help you out. So still a work in progress, but at the same time, we're 5-0 going into the Red River, and we got the rest of the season to go. We got a lot at stake, and I think the sky's the limit for this team this year.
So basically, if you take our 2 primary running backs, they got 127 yards on 26 carries. If the Ott Blaylock combo can give us something like that every game, and we have Mateer, I'll take that.
For sure.
Yep. And I think obviously Material's going to end up back. He's not. I mean,
Oh yeah.
we're not talking about a career or a season.
No. Nothing out there indicates that at all. It's just
even if he wasn't playing next week or the week after that, I feel like you're going to see Hawkins get better from week to week. You got to have something to work on.
Oh yeah, I mean, and that's what progress is not linear, right?
It isn't. That's correct.
Also, I will end with one last comment. David Stone has another year of being improved by Todd Bates. Well, what the hell does that look like next year?
He's already ridiculous.
I mean,
he's the highest rated defensive tackle.
Today he was, he should have got a safety. Yeah. I mean, it was like a millimeter away from a safety. I mean, it was ridiculous. But yeah, I just think, when you think about this team and you think about the abyss that was last year, again, I'm gonna walk away from today very, very happy and happy we're taking this team into war with Texas.
No,
and we're not gonna be firing our offensive coordinator after the game.
Sooner Ace, you're lost your mind, bro. Go outside, touch grass, get some fucking fresh air. Stop it. Good Lord. Good Lord. I'm done. Are you guys done?
I'm finished.
All right. Guys, appreciate everybody coming in. We'll see you all on the next one.
We'll see. Thursday night will be wild, so.
Yeah.